Shalom, ma shalomchem, ani beseder. Hi, my name is Destry. I'm going to be studying Genesis, or in the Hebrew, Bereshit, um, chapter 3, verses 4 and verses 5. Now, I am a very beginner in Hebrew, and if you're interested in learning Hebrew or uh, anything involving Judaism, you need to consult a rabbi, um, and he will be able to direct you more in depth. So, with that being said, I am just a beginner, and this will just cover the very beginning, very basics of the Hebrew language that pertains to Bereshit chapter 3, verses 4 and 5. Okay, what we should do first is we should recap and see what exactly happened in the previous verses. What happened in verses 1 through 3? Well, we know that the serpent tried to beguile Eve, or Chava in the Hebrew, um, by telling her only half of a truth. Um, the woman responded by quoting God exactly and saying the whole truth. So then we're to verse 4, and the serpent switches, and instead of trying to tell another half truth, he goes ahead and he presents a 100% lie, and this is where we start the lesson. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and look at the Nakud. The Nakud is vowels, and it helps um, beginner speaking Hebrews pronounce the words. So, with that being said, let me read to you first the Hebrew. Vayomer hanachash el haisha lo mota mutun ki yodea Elohim כי ביום אכלכם ממנו ונפקחו עיניכם והייתם כאלוהים יודעי טוב ורע. And let's go ahead and look at some of the suffixes. That wasn't the that was the suffixes. This is the prefix. Let's look at the prefix first. The vav prefix, when attached to a verb stem, means and. So the shoresh, or the root of the word, is omer or amar, and it means said and said. The hey prefix is the. So we got the, and we got the tav prefix, and it means you will. Let's look at another one. The beit prefix. Be can mean in the or on the. Then we got the mim prefix is, of course you know, from, and vav is and the gaf prefix is like or as. So, let's look at some of the suffixes. Now, I didn't mark all the suffixes because here im is clearly a suffix, but I treat this word as one word. So, with that being said, the vav final nun prefix, suffix, means it denotates a lesser version of the verb it's attached to. So this would mean that mot or mut is death, so a lesser version of death would be the process of death, not instantly dying, like the process of being born, growing old, and then dying. That's what it means. Let's go ahead and look at a few more. Chem is you. So we got achal, which is eat, and nechem is you. You eat. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and look at some of the translations because I am short on time. So, here we go. This first one. Vayomer, and it means and said. Um, Vav prefixes and. Now this yod makes this verb a masculine verb, so it would be and he said, but the he is implied. You wouldn't actually say and he said, so it would be just and said, but this is a masculine said. And said hanachash, the serpent. Hanachash, ha is the, nachash is serpent. El haisha, unto the woman. El is unto or to, and isha is the woman. Lo motamutun. Lo is no, and mot is death. Temutun is you will die. So the tav prefix is you will die, mut. So no death you will die. So the serpent says, and said the serpent unto the woman, no death you will die. And then he goes on to explain. This is the serpent still talking, still trying to persuade Chava or Eve by presenting a total lie to the woman. So here you go. Key is that, but, or because. And there's not very much difference at all between that, but, and because. Actually, there's hardly no difference. In English, there is no difference. Because no, Yodea is no, because no Elohim, Elohim is God. Because no God, that, remember, ki can be that, but, or because in Old Hebrew. Beyom, be prefix is in the, or it could be on the. So in the day, yom is day. In the day, remember, achalchem is you eat. In the day you eat. Mimenu, the mim prefix is from. Min is out of, from out of it. Then the next word, venifkechu. Now, the prefix vav is and we know that the shoresh of this word is pe kuf chet. So this is open, but it's not just any open. It's opening involving only the eyes. So this is and will open. Now this noon prefix is will and will open. Enechem, your eyes. And will open your eyes. Veyitim, and will be. And will be. Lahiot is another form of this, and it means will be. Will be ke Elohim. Now we know Elohim already, and this prefix attached to Elohim means like. So you will and will be like or as God. Yodei, knowing. Tov, tov is good. Knowing good, tov. Vara, and, remember, vav is and. Ra is evil. Knowing good and evil. So, and said the serpent unto the woman, no death you will die, because know God that in the day you eat from out of it, and will open your eyes, and will be like God, knowing good and evil. So, now we know exactly what was said in the original Hebrew, and it's very important to know the Hebrew because the words are crystal clear. Like, let's just do for instance, the first chapter of um, the Torah or the Bible. In English, it's Genesis. Now, when I was growing up, I didn't really know what Genesis meant. I just thought it was, a title of a chapter. But in Hebrew, it's called Bereshit, and it actually means simply in the beginning. That's exactly what the first book means. And in Hebrew, the words are much clearer than in English. So, with that being said, thank you for listening to this lesson. And I'll probably be doing 2 sentences a week. And and I pray that the Almighty of Israel's hand be upon you. Until then, lehitraot.